Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today or joining in the replay. Today, we are going to be talking about morning routines, how to actually help your kid get a morning routine going so that you can have a stress free morning. And I promise you that if you do these things, you actually can have a stress free morning. Well, pretty close to a stress-free morning anyway. Far less stress than you're experiencing now. Imagine if your tween got themselves sorted out in the morning without being nagged, where you didn't have to remind them of everything they had to do. And it was more a matter of just confirming, did they get these things done, rather than begging them, please do this. Maybe that doesn't happen in your household. But I know we had to come up with systems and routines so we could reduce that stress. And so it became more about a conversation. Did you get this done? Not here's what you need to do. Why do we care if we have a morning routine? Does it really matter? I say yes. It sets the tone for the whole day. I mean, if you have a bad morning, everything else just kind of goes downhill from there. We have to choose what we want to be doing in the morning so that we can have it be a little bit more stress-free. Also, when our kids are able to manage, and I say kids, and I mean tweens, although you can start kids younger, that's fine too. But as they are becoming more independent, that's the goal, is we want to launch them well, but we can't just start that when they turn 18. We need to start that now when they're in their tweens, going into their teens, so that they can be confident and competent adults at some point down the road. And being able to manage their morning routine will help them manage themselves as they get ready for work, as they get ready for other activities, because they'll have the skills they need. They'll have the tools to create the routines that will enable them to do what they need to do. Now, maybe you feel like your child is just lazy. Why can't they get out of bed? Why don't they want to do this? Why do I always have to nag them about stuff? It's not like the tasks are difficult. How hard is it to unload the dishwasher? How hard is it to get out of bed? Well, okay, some days it is hard to get out of bed, to be fair. But it's actually a skill that requires some discipline, and it's an executive function skill. And if it's a skill, it can be taught. So that is fabulous. Now, think about this. Here's some things that people struggling with these executive function skills may have problems with. Think of this in relation to a morning you had recently. Does your tween have trouble starting or completing tasks? Maybe they get started on something and then completely forget, and they go do something else, so the thing is unfinished and you have to go pick up after them. Maybe they have difficulty prioritizing tasks, so they're doing these insignificant things when they should be getting ready for the day. So frustrating. But it's a skill to be able to prioritize and do the priority tasks. I mean, even as adults, we have trouble doing this kind of thing. Like, it's a skill that we need to practice. Perhaps they forget what they just heard. You asked them to do something and they immediately forgot. They're not just trying to be rude or inconsiderate. They actually just forgot. So being able to listen and retain that information and do it is a skill. Maybe they have trouble following directions. You lay it out for them and they still struggle. That can be taught. Maybe they panic when a routine changes or the rules change. You were going to do this and now you have to do this. Does that sound like your tween? If you have trouble being consistent, that's causing your tween some serious stress. So yes, they need to learn how to be flexible. That's a skill. But being consistent is also a skill. So these things need to be balanced. Perhaps they have trouble focusing from one activity to another. They're focusing on one thing and you say, okay, now we got to do this, and they struggle. Perhaps they have trouble organizing their thoughts. They're saying something and it just logically doesn't make sense. Maybe they have trouble keeping track of their belongings. Hello, the mysterious missing things. Where are they? How many things have they lost? We've all lost things on occasion, but this is a serious case of them always something is missing. Where did they put the stuff? And you waste so much time looking for the stuff that they've lost. If you are nodding along, seeming like, oh, I was talking about your tween, don't despair. There is hope. This morning, I'm going to give you a couple of practical things that you can do in your household starting tomorrow morning. Well, you can sit down and make a plan for it this evening, so tomorrow morning goes smoother already. You can help your child manage their morning routines so you can work towards that stress-free morning. My husband always likes to say that planned activities are not a surprise, so we shouldn't be late. Like, it's been on the calendar, and it's been on the calendar for a while, so there's no excuse for being late. And every morning we have the same activities, so there's no need to be late. We know what we need to do. We know what time we need to be there. So how do we get to this stress-free morning? I know that when your kids are little, you have to manage your children and yourself, and you're constantly thinking about all of the things. But the beauty of them growing up is that in theory, they should be taking on some of those responsibilities for themselves. So you can take care of your stuff, they can take care of their stuff, and together you can get out the door on time. That's the ideal. That's what we're working towards. But it's kind of scary. It's this double-edged sword of wanting to be needed. Like, as a parent, that's my role. I need to take care of my kids. And for so many years, you're needed. And it's nice to feel needed. We know what our role is, even if we're frazzled. We know, oh, I've got to do all these things for my kid. It shapes our identity. And then as we work ourselves out of a job as a parent and give our kids some of those responsibilities for managing their morning, for instance, it's scary, because then what is my new role as a parent? My role is changing. Do you ever experience that? Ever feel that? But as scary as that is, we need to encourage their independence, because it's this journey. Otherwise, when do we let go? When do we transfer responsibility? When do they learn those skills? It's the order of things. So when you train your teen to start taking more responsibility, all of a sudden it becomes real. You have more time. Your role changes. You need to figure out, okay, they're taking on these morning duties. Therefore, oh, I actually have time to sit and have a cup of coffee. And that's okay. I don't have to run around and pick up after them, because they're able to do that on their own. So you start slowly refining and redefining your role. That's where I'm at. I've got 3 teens. I'm going to be launching them one by one over the next 3 to 5 years. If you're watching this, whether you're at the start of the tweens and your child is 8, they say that's when the tweens start, or at the end of the teens and you're launching, an adult is imminent, I hope the next little section will help you create a successful and stress-free morning so you can enjoy your time together and relax a bit. I have what I call the morning 5. The morning 5. I don't know if you've ever had a morning 5, but it makes things easier. makes things easier. Things like get up. That's always a good thing to start with. Get yourself ready for the day, eat breakfast, pack your bag for the day, and do your morning chores. I like the morning 5 because it's easy to count them off. It's easy to remember what they are. They're not difficult tasks, but they're things that have to happen before you can continue the rest of your day. And they're in the order of importance. Obviously, if you're not up, nothing else matters. So get up. And when we're thinking about helping our child manage that part of the morning 5, do they have an alarm clock? What is the consequence if they don't get up? What is the motivation? How can we encourage them to be responsible for that? And I tell you, it only takes a time or two of them missing something that they want to do because they didn't get up, and it will solve that issue. However, you can do stuff too for that getting up. What time are they going to bed? How much sleep do they actually need? Figure that out. It could be that, sure, they would get up, but they're not getting enough sleep. So it's a struggle every day. So how can you solve that problem? So look to the root cause there. Some people, they get up, and part of their getting up is they make their bed. Now, this is not a hill I am willing to die on. Pick your battles. Some people say, if you get up and make your bed right away, then you've succeeded at something and the rest of your day goes well. If that is you, great. And do I believe in making the bed? Absolutely. But there are other things that I would choose to focus on and battle on first. Get themselves ready for the day. What does that mean for them? Do they have clean clothes? Are they in charge of their laundry? Have they taken care of it? At this age, they can totally do their laundry. They are capable, and it helps them manage their time. And then whatever is clean, that's what they can wear. Get them to manage their laundry. Soon enough, it'll only take one time of, oh my goodness, that my favorite shirt is dirty. And then they realize, oh, I need to have a regular laundry day. And it's one thing off your plate. So get up, get that alarm clock, get them responsible for that, get themselves ready for the day. Make sure their hair and teeth are brushed, their clothes are looking presentable. What does it take for them to get ready for the day? As they're entering their tweens, they may need some guidance on personal hygiene. That's part of getting ready for the day. Eating breakfast. They say breakfast is a super important meal of the day. So what are you going to do for breakfast? What does that look like? What is available? Do they have to make it? Part of it is outlining expectations and making it easy. Packing their bag for the day. You don't want to be running to the school because they forgot something. So how can they remember what needs to go in their bag? And then morning chores. Do they need to feed a pet? Do they have to unload the dishwasher? It's good for kids to have chores. It gives them a feeling of self-worth, a feeling of accomplishment. They've done something. And it could be maybe that morning chore is making their bed. But there we have it, this morning 5. But each of those things requires a little micro routine so that they can accomplish that task. You break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. And you can significantly reduce your stress in the household in the morning. And your teen probably isn't lazy. They need guidance. They need instruction. And you think, shouldn't it be obvious? Well, if it was obvious, they would be doing it. If it was easy, they would be doing it. So help make it obvious, help make it easy for them so they can be successful. And focus on one of those morning 5 areas every week. Pick one and then solve the problem of why aren't they getting up on time? Do they need an alarm clock? Figure that out. Then the next week, add the next thing on the morning 5. And you might have different things. The important thing is the expectation is clear. Have you done your morning 5? It's an easy yes, no answer. And they know what the morning 5 is. They know what the expectation is, and they can just get it done. You don't have to nag. You can have a conversation about it. If your tween does better or you'd like some outside accountability to support them, you're in luck. We have a Home Alone Club that is starting. Each week we'll be tackling some of these micro routines, some of the safety issues when kids are home by themselves, helping them develop these skills to manage themselves better. It's an opportunity for these young people to connect, to build these executive function skills in a safe environment. And these are skills that will give you peace of mind. So when you're at work and your kid is at home, maybe they have to run the whole morning routine on their own because you've left for work already. You know, oh, it's okay. They're capable. They can do this. It's a relationship builder, because when you're not having to constantly micromanage every single thing, your relationship gets better. You can have other conversations other than, please do this, please do this, please do this. Instead, it's, how was your day? Tell me more. You can get your name on a wait list. We're starting the cohort, a cohort in May. It's only $67, and it's weekly sessions, Tuesday, 4 to 5:15 Pacific time. Kids come on. We have a topic. It's a fun, interactive session. They learn a skill, go practice the skill, come back, talk about it. There's some accountability, and it makes it fun. Everybody's working on something. They see that they're not the only one. And it's peace of mind for you, less nagging for you, because they're starting to take that personal responsibility. Thank you for joining me for this session today. If you have any questions, please do reach out, oakfieldsafety@gmail.com, or you can find me on the Facebook page, or you can leave a comment in the comment section. I'll also be posting the link for that waitlist for the May cohort for that Home Alone program. So until next time, here's to making some micro routines to create that stress-free morning.